Alright, so in this video, we are going to learn the chat screen implementation, like how to create the chat screen. Okay, so let's start. Go to the chat screen. We already have this screen, so let me focus on this screen. So for that, we can do one thing for now. Okay, we can do one thing. We can cut it from here, paste it here, or we can also provide the initial route name. So let me do one thing professionally. So I just want the initial route name. So initial route name, I can suggest this one, chat. Okay, so very first screen would be this chat screen. Let me rerun this. So now you can see the chat screen is visible here. Okay, because the initial route name I have set it here, chat. Okay, for now just, and the later on we'll be reverting back to the tab. Okay, so let's go to the chat screen, and here what we are going to do, we are going to implement the chat screen with this some dummy data for now, and then in the upcoming videos we'll be making it dynamic. So let's create the dummy chat screen. Like, we'll be using the flat list first, like inverted flat list. So if there is a message, it will appear here. If there is more messages, as soon as we get the message, it will go like this, here, then here, then here. Okay, so in the upward direction, not in the downward direction. Okay, makes sense. And there is should be one text input to take, type messages, and there is this one send button, similar to the WhatsApp. You all know, aware of WhatsApp, right? Okay, so let's start. Let's take one flat list first, then flat list. Okay, and in the flat list we should have, for example, data. Okay, so in the data we can take one dummy data for now. So let me create one dummy data here. Okay, so let's create this one, const messages. We can create one array. Okay, and this array has one object id, and for now I can take id 1, text hello, and sender id we can take 2, and time we can take, for example, 10 a.m., and similarly second object, and similarly third object. Cool. So we have these dummy messages. These messages will be getting from the Firebase Firestore, but for now we have, we just want to make the screen first with this dummy data, then we'll be making it dynamic. Okay, fair enough. So let's go back here, put messages. Now this requires one more prop, which is render item, and we can provide the key extractor for the uniqueness, like item id. We'll be getting this id. Okay, item id and the render item. And this prop, in this prop we can pass the one component, and in the one component we can define the component here, const render item. Okay, and for now it will return a hi for all these screens, or we can say item dot text. Okay, now we can define the type any for now, not here, outside item dot any, and inside this render item we can pass directly this render item component, which is this method. Okay, Cool. So here all the text like listing is there. So we'll fix this, you know, like this UI issue, because it is cutting up here. But for now, let's move ahead and create the bottom text input, one button. In the text input would be the left side, and the button like send button would be the right side. So these two items will be taking inside one view, and we'll be putting these two in the flex direction row horizontally. Okay, cool. So let's create one view. Inside the view we'll be taking one text input, and second one will be taking one button. So we'll not going to import the button component, we'll be making it using touchable opacity and text. Okay, cool. Send. Need to import this touchable opacity, need to import this text input. Okay, now what we can do is we can make the styling what we are getting. Okay, let me refresh it once. Okay, there is one issue I think in the importing component. Let me check. Okay, so I think we have imported the text input from the wrong path. Text input would be from the React Native component. Let me refresh it, reload. Cool. So let's create the view styling first. Style, we'll be taking the flex direction row in order to make these button and the text input in the horizontally row. Okay, and align item center we can take, and like directly we are not taking this align item center and justify content center. We will taking padding, select direction, background color. Okay, so for now I'm removing this thing, these two things. Okay, and I can take the background color similar to white. Cool. Now in the text input, let's make some style, and inside the text input we'll be making it flex 1, and we can take border width 1, border radius we can take 20 for now, and border color we can take this for now, or we can take DTD for now. Okay, cool. So you can see we are able to see something here on the screen. Let me close this one. Okay, now one more thing we can take is, okay, so one more thing we can take it, padding vertical we can take 8, and padding horizontal we can take 15. Cool. Now let's create styling for this send button. In the touchable opacity we can do the styling. Okay, so we can take the background color, and we can take the padding we can take the border radius. Okay, so let's take the background color, this one, padding. Okay, and border radius, you can see background color, border radius, this radius. Okay, padding like this space from this text to the outer layer. Margin left, this is the left margin. Justify content center, like horizontally, or we can say vertically center, and the align items like horizontally center. Okay, so this text is horizontally center and vertically center using these two things. Okay, and margin 10, like this whole background is like having green color somewhat, and this is the margin 10, this is the outer margin 10, this is the margin 10, and this is the margin 10. Padding is like from the text to the this layer only, this green layer till this is the padding. Okay, radius is like curved, this is the curved. If I remove this radius, this will be like square something. Okay, okay, let me remove this justify content center. So what will happen, like the vertically it will not be center. Okay, and if I remove this, horizontally it will not on the center. So like for now we have given the padding, so it is not going left or right or top or bottom. If I remove the padding, then it will go like up. Okay, so we need to give the padding as well. And if we give the padding, if the padding is more, then this text might be like left or right, so we need to be careful, and we can put the justify content center and align item center. Cool. Okay, so this is fine. Now let me go to the text style. In the styling, we can give the text color white and font weight something 600, and font size we can give 16. Okay, cool. Now if I remove the font weight, so what would happen, like this is the simple text. If I remove the font size as well, it will be small one. Okay, now add those things. Okay, now go back to the what we can say is text input. In the text input, we have to put one value, and inside the value we can provide the input. Simple input, we need to create one input here. We can remove this react, and we can import it from the react here itself, this one. Save, and on change text, like whenever we type something, we need to set input. Like this will provide one callback. In the callback, we have one argument which is text, and this text would be the directly set to the set input. So if we enlarge this, like explain what is it is doing, so let me remove this. So we get a callback here, callback function, arrow function we can basically. Now we'll call this set item, set input, and we will set the text. All the time user types any one character, and we'll get the character from here, and we'll be getting this character from here. So this thing can be written as simple this one, set input. So text is directly going to update the set input, all the characters one by one. Okay, cool. So save. Now We can give one placeholder as well. So for now, let me put this in one line so that you can see this simply. Okay, okay, cool. Let me format this once. Now you can see all the things in one line. Let me cut this. Okay, 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 okay. Now we can give the one placeholder, and inside the placeholder we can write the type a message. Okay, so we have a placeholder type a message, and when we click on this, there should be one keyboard. We can check like test, and we can send here. Okay, cool. So in this send, we need to pass one on press method, and we can create one send message. Method here, and we can create this method here, const send message. Okay, for now we are not doing anything, just create it. Yeah, okay, cool. So we can actually console the data, or let me console the input, so you can check what we are getting all the time. Okay, so let me check the console. So can, if you are not able to open this keyboard, so there might be one issue from this, like if you click on this simulator, you will get one option on the top menu, input output. There will be lots of, you know, tabs like simulator, file, edit, device, input output. If you click on the input output, you will get this keyboard option here, and you can click on the toggle software, so it will go off. Again you can click on the same, it will open the toggle, like this keyboard will be pop up. So you can click, and you can, if you click on this, we get this GHI. If you put one more character, if I click on it, you will get one again this character. So whatever the character here it is, it will be updating this set input. Okay, here the set input. So after hitting enter, we need to clear the text input, so we can clear this using set input empty string. Okay, so let me clear this, let me send this. Now you can see we have nothing here. We put again, you can see, so this is working fine. Cool. Now come back to the flat list part. So we need to update this flat list styling now. So for this, okay, so for this we can do one thing. Let's create render item first. So let's go to the here and remove this. Okay, now let's do this way and put one view, and inside this view we will be having like one text. Let's wait what we are doing, you will get the idea in few seconds. In the text we'll be putting this item.text. Cool. And now let's do the styling for this view. Okay, let me reject this one now. Okay, let me, okay, cool. Let's start with the background color. Background color, we can put for now D C F8 C6 Okay. Okay, now let me put it here. This is styling. Okay, let me format this one again. Now we can do the padding 10. Okay, so padding we have given. Okay, now we can give the border radius 10. Okay, cool. Margin vertical and margin horizontal. Margin vertical we can give the 5. Cool. And margin horizontal we can give the 10. Cool enough. So we can see we have all the lists this way. Okay, hello, hi there, how are you? 3 items we have here in the dummy data, right? Cool. So now what we can do is we can okay, we can give the shadow for now for the beauty. So we can give the shadow color black. For the iOS we need to give the shadow offset, and here we are going to give the 0 and 1 and shadow opacity 0.3, or we can give the 0.3. okay, it's fine. And shadow radius we need to give for the iOS, so shadow radius we can give the 2. And for the Android we need to do one thing only, elevation. So we put the elevation 1, because you can see there is some kind of shadow here in the iOS, and the Android the shadow will be given by this Android. Okay, and this part is for the iOS, this part. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's a weird thing, like for the iOS we need to do these many steps, and for the Android we have only one steps. But yeah, how it is, it is. Okay, so now let's yeah, so let's do one more thing. We can put the timing here, like at what time we get the message. So we can put the text below, and we can put the items of time, and here in the style we can give the font size of the time, and color we can give, and margin top we can give this way. And yeah, now the critical part here it is, we have to decide one thing. We need the attention here, like if we send the message, then the message should be on the right side here at the bottom. If we get the message, then the message should be here in the left side. Okay, and if the message in the left side, like from the another sender, like from the another user, then this message should go till this point, this kind of, like not fully covered, like the horizontal width would be like the 70%, we can say, like the 70% or 80%, not to be fully covered. And if the message is from me, like on the right side, then this right side message should go till the length of like 75% of the width. This some space would be empty, right? The WhatsApp similar kind of thing we are thinking. So we have to give the max width of the 70%, right, here in the view. Okay, that's cool thing. So we can give the max width, we can give the 70%, or we can say the 75%. Cool. So here this is the left side, so it will cover only this. If this is right side, then it will cover from this one. So let me show you the right side ones. So if we do the align self means it will align himself, like it will align itself, not the inside the text, it will align itself only if we provide the align self. So align self, we can give the, for now we can give the flex end. So you can see it is looking this way. If I increase the data, so it will go to the only 75 percentage, like this way. Okay, it will not go beyond the 75. So it's looking good, right? Okay, let's move this. So this is right side. Now we need to provide some sort of condition here, like if the message is from me, like from the current user, then this align self would be the flex end, otherwise it should would be the flex start. So for that we can provide one condition here, const is me, and for that we can check item, and in the item we have like sender id, right? So if the sender id is we can say the, let me reject this. If the sender id is 1, so it means the 1 is for me, and this sender id is 2, so it means it is from the another user. And this is the hard coded value for now, but it would be the dynamic one. So let me create the dynamic value here. Okay, okay, so what can I do here is I can give the current user id, current user id, and this current user id we need to define here, const current user id 1. So simulating current user id. So this is the dynamic, this would be the dynamic value. For now I'm putting it hard coded 1. Okay, okay, let's save this one, and let's put this condition here in the, if is me, then flex end, otherwise flex start. So you can check, hi there is for is me, and these two things are from the sender id 2, sender id 2, sender id 2. Okay, so I think it is making sense for all you guys. Okay, if you have any like problem or anything which is not going to work for you, you can ask in me comment sections. Okay, let's move ahead. Now this color is not looking good, like for both the text message. This is from the second person, this is from the current person. So let's move this color conditionally to the somewhat we can say is me. Cool. So now is it making sense? I think, let me change this color to somewhat this one, not red. Yeah, it's making sense. So this is the second user, this is the first user. Cool. Now next what we can do is, let's do one more thing is, let's make this flat list inverted. Why inverted? Because whenever we are going to type something, send something, so it's the text input should be here, and all the messages should be like from bottom to top. Okay, so we can provide this inverted, flag true, and if we provide the inverted flag true, we can also provide the content container style and height as well. And let's move this, so you can see, if then this flat list data and this text input would go up, and so we need to provide the height here, and we can try it with style and flex 1 as thing. Yeah, if we give the flex 1, so it will cover the entire screen, so it will go down. Why? We have given the flat list inverted. Okay, so this thing working. So for now I think uh, if we're not giving flex 1 here, we can give the height here. So whatever work for you in your screen in your project, you can choose. Here I'm choosing height. The height inside the I think style. And if we provide height, so if there is any scrollable content, like lots of content, so there should be one there would be one scroll indicator on the right side if the list is vertical horizontal. So we need to hide that scroll vertical horizontal to false, like shows vertical scroll indicator to false. We just put it false. Why? We need to hide that scroll one indicator, so it will not look weird, right? Okay, it makes sense now. Okay, so now we can do one more thing is, we have given the padding. Okay, if you give it the height of to 100%, now it will go down. So we need to take the safe area view here, safe area view from the safe area React Native safe area context, not from the React Native. Make sure it is from the React Native safe area context. Okay, and we can give it. Okay, now let's do some padding here, 10, or we can do 20. Why it is not coming up? Let's give the vertical padding to 30 somewhat. Okay, and let's give it like 99%, 98% we can say, 97%, 90%. Okay, what? Okay, 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 let me rerun it. So what we can say is, if I get 100%, it will go down. So we need to give it like 95%. Okay, and margin we can give horizontally, which is 10. So it will take whole flat list as a margin. So let me think one way. Yeah, now I think it is looking good, but somehow I want it up. So this, in the text input we can provide the styling. Okay, so here in the view we can provide the margin horizontal, and we can provide the 10 and border. Okay, why this border radius and all? Yeah, so I don't want these things. Let me remove this one. Okay, now it's looking good. We have provided the margin horizontal in the this view part. Okay, and we have given the height in the flat list so that it takes the 95%, and we have taken background color safe area view. I think it is making sense now. Now do some logical part, basic logical part. At least if we click on this send, there should be the addition of the message in the array. So we will get the message here. So for that we need to make this message inside the state so that we can update the data. Let's make one state here, const messages, set messages. Okay, so we have these types of messages like 1 2 3 5 messages. And okay, let me rerun these ones. Okay, so you can see we have so many messages here. Now what we can do is we can do some logic here. Okay, so for the logic what we can do is we can let me check. Let me first format this. So where we can set the logic in the in the send message. First we need to check if user types some space here, for example space 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 and enter, then we should return some null. So for that we can check if input, and after removing the space there is empty string, so we just return the method. We will do nothing, prevent sending empty message. Okay, this is the one condition. Let me do another thing. So let me create one const new message. What message we are getting if so we need to increase the id, like this one 1 2 3 4 5. So here the length is like 1 2 3 4 and 5. The length of this message array is 5, so we'll get the length. Okay, we'll get the length, and we'll add in that length one. So I hope it is making sense. Like we are getting the length like 5 and we are increasing the length by 1 like 6. So next id will be like 6. Okay, so for the next message the id will be 6, and we are converting it to the string so that we get the string this way. This is the string, right? Okay, now we need to send the sender id. So for now I am sending the message, so the sender id would be the current id, which is 1. For in this case, like this one, you can see the current id here. Current id it is 1. Let me put some spaces here. This is 1, so current id would be sender id would be the current id. Okay, and the text message will be the input message. So this message I'm typed here, so which is inside this input. So this is the same thing. In the time we can set the new. So this is the method, javascript method, like date dot to local time string, and this will give the time string, and in the hour and in the minute, this is the format we can pass inside this to local time string. So this will give the date object if we return this thing only. One second, yeah. So this will give the date object. Now if we call this method like to local time string, and we pass the empty array here, and we give the format like 2 digit, and in the minute and in the hour 2 digit, so it will save that one. Yeah, okay. Now we need to set message, like this message we need to update. So this message we need to update, so we are just going to set. So if we are setting this message, what we need to do is we have to get the message first. So this is the wrong way, I think. Let me write this one. Set messages. Now inside we'll get the previous data. Okay, so we'll get the previous data, and after that we have the previous data, like the whole data, this one. Okay, now let me return the new array. So one more point here is to remember, like let me reject this one. So we have the previous array, so where we want to add this new message, we want to add it in the back side of this array, like in the last, or into the first side of, like in the first index of this array, like before this previous. So actually this prev is the whole array, like this one, the current messages array. So if we add message before this preview, so it will add in the starting. If we add here like after preview, so it will add in the end. So where we want to add it, we want to add it in the, not in the last one like in the previous one, because the array, this flat list is inverted. So the very first item will be present at the bottom first. So we want the message at the very first in the array, so that it will visible here in this way, because the flat list is inverted. Okay, so let's add this new message, this new message object in the like at the very first index of this array. Now it is making sense, I hope. Now let's clear this, let set input to empty string. Okay, let's save this, let's test this, like type test. So you can see we have the test, and it is 1:05 a.m. this time I'm making this video. If type something weird here this way, and yeah, so it will it will come here. Yeah, one more thing, like if I click on this, the text input is getting hide. So for that we can use the keyboard avoiding view. There is one React Native core component, so we can use that one here. Instead of safe area view, we will be using the keyboard avoiding view from the React Native. All right, so let's put this one, and in the styling we can provide this background color ff. Okay, now one more thing we can provide is, yeah, let me call this it here as well and close this one. We need to wrap whole project inside this whole file, whole JSX inside this keyboard avoiding view, in order to up the text input. Like whenever keyboard is open, this text input go above the text input, go above the keyboard. Okay, so one more thing we need to put here is behavior. So behavior would be like, if this is the iOS, then we need to check platform.os.ios. If the app is open in the iOS, like platform.os is equal to iOS, and this platform we will be getting from this React Native. And if it is iOS, we'll be giving some padding. Otherwise, if it is Android, we'll be leaving it undefined. Okay, let's save this, and let's give, now we need to, I think, give flex here. Okay, and let's me refresh this. Okay, now if I click on this, you can see the text input is above the keyboard. Now we can type anything here. Let me type all the things here. Now let's check the text is going where. You can see the text is max 75%, otherwise it will go down. Okay, so it's making sense now. Okay, I think there is some distortion in the styling. We need to give some more, I think, padding in the margin horizontal. In this view we have 10, so we can give the horizontal margin vertical as well. So let's remove this horizontal, it will provide the overall margin. So you can see we have the margin. Now it's looking good. Okay, if we give some spaces and put enter, it will do nothing. Okay, because we have already provided the condition, this one. Okay, so it's looking good, I think, yeah, because we have the input box, we have the send button, we have the messages, we have the like another user message, we have the like current user message. Now just need one more thing, is we need to like make it dynamic. Like this data we should get from the some APIs, or from the web. We can use the web socket, we can use the Firebase Firestore. For the real-time data updates, we are going to use the Firestore in this second or third video of this playlist, we have already installed the Firebase app, Firebase Store. Now in the next upcoming video, we are going to implement that Firestore, and we are going to remove this dummy data, and we'll be using that Firestore data. So this video is very critical and crucial, and the upcoming video will be also very critical and crucial in order to understand this main core idea of the chat application. So I think that's it for this video, and if you like the video, please subscribe the channel and like the video. Thanks for the watching. Bye bye.